And a very happy Wednesday to you at 12:08 in the West. It's the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wang's in New Mexico.
John, last night at Karen Bass's press conference, where she announced that she and 8 other cities would be suing the federal government over ICE raids, Karen Bass was asked specifically about the rise in violence against federal law enforcement officers, including that guy in Texas with all the guns, and she said something that was quite shocking.
In Los Angeles, how would you address similar escalations of violence against law enforcement in Texas, and what steps would you propose to prevent such unrest from spreading to Los Angeles while balancing community safety and your sanctuary city policies?
Well, let me just say that the quote-unquote riots that were reported never happened.
What?
I'm telling you, this is the world that they live in. And in a one-party state, I guess you can get away with it. There were no riots. What are you talking about, riots? None of that ever happened. MacArthur Park, it's a beautiful park. It's like the one from Mary Poppins. There's nothing bad that goes on in that park. And their people just believe them.
In fact, I'm glad you mentioned that, because Gavin Newsom, who is gallivanting around South Carolina, said this to a bunch of people that wouldn't know any better because they're on the other side of the country about MacArthur Park at a rally.
Said, I've got to go. So what's going on, Mayor? She goes, well, something's going on in MacArthur Park. MacArthur Park is this beautiful park downtown, near downtown Los Angeles.
Beautiful?
And they call Trump a liar? They jump all over him if he says the crowd size was larger than it was. Yet she goes on TV and says that no rioting happened in Los Angeles. And he goes on TV and says MacArthur Park is a beautiful park. I mean, why not just come out and say the moon is made out of green cheese, too?
Said, I've got to go. So what's going on, Mayor? She goes, well, something's going on in MacArthur Park. MacArthur Park is this beautiful park downtown, near downtown Los Angeles.
Maybe that's just the way that things are going to be done in the future. Imagine if after the Northridge quake, Pete Wilson went on TV and said, there was no earthquake. No, nothing happened. No fault lines had any activity at all. No freeway collapsed. Nobody died. No homes were destroyed. None of that happened. Why do you ask me about that? If you felt like something was rumbling this morning, it's because you didn't eat your Cheerios. You were hungry. That's all. And it's working for him. Because not only is Gavin Newsom's are his poll numbers on the upswing, he thinks he's going to be the next president. He's campaigning for president in South Carolina right now. And he's telling those people that MacArthur Park is a beautiful place.
They're never going to visit. They won't know any better.
I mean, how does that not end up on the front page of the newspaper? They love to have their quote-unquote fact checkers out there. Remember all the people who went after us as conspiracy theorists if we said that COVID came from a lab in China? Those people? Or they would fact check you if you said that there was no Russia collusion? How about fact checking a simple claim that MacArthur Park is a beautiful park where they fish bodies out of the pond on a regular basis? Bodies in the pond? No, that was a duck. A beautiful duck. And baby ducks, too. There's no bodies. There's no drugs. There's no identity theft. There's no gangs. There's no homeless. There's no stolen goods being sold on the black market. None of that happens at that park. Just lots of volleyball. Lots of picnics. Softball games. Children playing duck, duck, goose. And, of course, Fox 11 did send a reporter to MacArthur Park to try to figure out just exactly what's going on in that park these days.
This has something completely unexpected happen, and I love it. Here is Fox 11 News as they investigate MacArthur Park a day after the federal raid.
Take a look here on the left. Immigration enforcement agents on foot and on horseback marching through MacArthur Park on Monday. On the right, that is the exact same area today, completely empty of anyone. Fox 11's Laura Diaz spoke to park visitors. She joins us live from MacArthur Park. Laura?
Yes, Christine, the park is quiet right now. If you look over my shoulder, you can see kids on the playground enjoying a sunny afternoon.
Who is taking their kids to that playground?
People who are willing to play Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the chamber.
But everyone I spoke to today said they wouldn't soon forget what happened here. Peligroso aquí.
Es peligroso aquí, sí. Ya la noche.
Tuesday, the day after the ICE drama, a relative calm returned to MacArthur Park in the Westlake district of L.A. People relaxed in the shade. Food vendors were out.
Just remember how she's trying to paint this story.
Yes.
Because it's about to take a turn.
Can't hide reality if you're there with a camera.
But this, still very much on everyone's mind. A convoy, which included armored vehicles, a frantic emergency visit by LA's Mayor Karen Bass to try to stop it. Heavily armed immigration agents swarming the park, which sits in the heart of a dense immigrant community, but which is also known for crime, drugs, and homeless. 24 hours later,
Whoa. That's not what Gavin says.
Gavin
That's
says
not
it's
what
beautiful there.
Eric Swalwell tweeted.
MacArthur Park is this beautiful park downtown, here downtown Los Angeles.
A beautiful park. I highly recommend.
Heavily armed immigration agents swarming the park, which sits in the heart of a dense immigrant community, but which is also known for crime, drugs, and homeless. 24 hours later, it still appeared that no suspected undocumented people were arrested. This man, who said he's a citizen and worries about crime in the area, he said he's still shaken by what he called the heavy-handed tactics displayed by federal agents.
I saw what happened yesterday, and I was concerned about what's happened about our neighborhood.
As I interviewed the man, the LAPD rolled by and reminded us to be careful. The park, they said, was not safe.
And the camera was rolling.
I just want to let you know, just be aware of your surroundings. That's a very expensive purse that you have. I would hate for someone to come and take it.
Okay.
Just be aware. I know you're recording, doing your job, but just be vigilant and be aware of your surroundings.
Thank you.
Please be vigilant and aware of your surroundings. That's a very nice purse that you have. I wouldn't want someone to take it, is what the LAPD said to Laura Diaz reporting in MacArthur Park on a Tuesday afternoon.
You know, when I was a kid and my mom used to take me to Miles Square Park in Fountain Valley all the time, I don't remember the cops rolling up and saying that to us at Miles Square Park in Orange County.
MacArthur Park, just 2 miles from the seat of power in downtown L.A. This man told me he's scared. He carries papers in his backpack proving he's here legally. Langer's is a famous deli on Alvarado known for its delicious sandwiches. Its owner saw what happened Monday and was horrified, but he thinks some solutions to solving crime are needed.
There's some discussion now about fencing the park off and putting wrought iron fencing around it and cleaning it up and making it safe again for kids to play and families to have picnics and so on.
Wait, I thought that's what's going on right now.
No, the governor said it's a beautiful park. Nothing needs to be cleaned up. You certainly don't have to fence it off.
MacArthur Park is this beautiful park downtown, here downtown Los Angeles.
Gavin, you want to go on the duck boats?
It's
Okay,
on the
now that
horizon.
guy that they just interviewed that has the papers in his backpack, do you think those papers are legit, or do you think he purchased those at MacArthur Park?
Well, that is something that a lot of people do.
It's on the horizon. It's going to happen. How soon? It's questionable. Money is not there.
Of course, these are times where money is very tight. Everyone I spoke to today acknowledged that crime was a problem in the area. They could answer.
You don't say.
But Gavin says the opposite.
It's a beautiful, beautiful park.
MacArthur Park is this beautiful park downtown, near downtown Los Angeles.
And you know what he's thinking. I'm talking to these rubes in South Carolina. They don't know what ends up. I'm just going to tell them it's a beautiful park, and we'll run with that narrative.
Everyone I spoke to today acknowledged that crime was a problem in the area. They could answer that one quickly, but how to fix it? That answer, much more complex. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from MacArthur Park, sending it back to the studio, Alex and Christine.
So there you go. Laura Diaz goes to investigate MacArthur Park after the feds came in. The LAPD tells her, be careful, we don't want you to get robbed.
Now, Randy, how fast is the internet where you are right now?
It is fairly quick.
Okay. Let's pull up MacArthur Park on Yelp and see what the reviews have to say.
Oh, boy. You really want to do this?
We've done this before for Hollywood Boulevard. We did it before for Men's Central Jail. We've done it for a few different places over the years that we've worked together. But I'm just kind of curious to see what the tourists think when they take Gavin Newsom's advice and go to this big, beautiful park right next to downtown L.A.
MacArthur Park has a score of 3.2 out of 5 with 136 reviews. Let's see if we can read some of them. This park is awful. There are drunks, homeless people. It is dirty and dangerous. The lake is all right, though, aside from the fact that it's really polluted and stinky. Here's another one. My childhood park has changed a lot. It's the same that the city has let it get to such a bad state. It had a lot of potential. Minus the trash, smelly lake, and drug abusers, the park has nice views of downtown LA and a nice playground. Here's a 5-star review. It's a great place to go if you want fake IDs or any other documents. Corner of 6th and Alvarado. Go there and one of the vendors will offer you one. I got mine here back in 2015. If Rick Caruso was the mayor, he could help every person who's homeless get off the feet, or at least a large number. This place is awesome.
So the 5-star review is giving it high marks because you could buy any forged documents you need.
Yep.
Come down and get a new Social Security card. You get proof that you had the COVID vaccine and proof that you don't have AIDS.
Here's one from Gabriella in Koreatown. 2 stars. This park has the potential to be nice and an actual functioning family park. Unfortunately, there are so many homeless people that flood the park. There are plenty of grassy areas that could host some activities for kids or some picnics, but every few feet you find a person laying on the ground, passed out, either high or drunk. There are a lot of street vendors around here, and that's one of the only reasons I ever come here when I'm craving fresh cut fruit or an elote. But if it wasn't for that, I really wouldn't come here. You know you can get an elote anywhere, right?
I wonder how often those vendors get robbed.
Here's one from Gloria, 1 star. Very horrible place, lots of homeless. It smells really bad, needles on the floor. Here they said they would clean it up, but of course it's a tourist attraction, but healed to the no. It is really sad to have a nice play area for children, but who would want their children playing with so much danger around? So sad. City of Los Angeles is becoming a very sad place to tell people to come and visit.
It's funny how you get the truth when you take the politics out of it, and you just get the honest reaction of people who visited that park. In fact, let's go ahead and open up the phones right now at 800-222-5222. 1-800-222-5222. You, the people of California, live here. You're familiar with this park. Many of you have gone there. Many of you who grew up here used to go to that park when it was very, very different. I want to hear from you right now at 800-222-5222. 1-800-222-5222. What were your experiences like at MacArthur Park? Gavin Newsom says it's a beautiful park.
Oh, it is such a beautiful park, let me tell you.
MacArthur Park is this beautiful park downtown, near downtown Los Angeles.
All right. How was MacArthur Park when you went there? 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you're monitoring the mailbag.
Will writes in at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com saying, you know, what was the most surprising thing about Laura Diaz's report in MacArthur Park is that the LAPD was there at all. Suppose now even they feel safe after ICE rolled through.
Mickey Kaus, who's a regular guest on this program, tweeted out a link to my monologue from earlier this week on MacArthur Park and the raids that went on there by ICE and the federal government. And Randy, if you want to go back and find out just exactly what Mickey was tweeting about, you can re-listen to that monologue.
All you got to do is search for The John Phillips Show wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's the Apple Podcasts app, iHeart, Spotify. Search for The John Phillips Show, hit subscribe. You can download all the episodes. You can do a Google on the YouTube or get that handy-dandy app like the KABC app or the KSFO app. Share the shows with your friends, especially anybody that heard this about MacArthur Park.
MacArthur Park is this beautiful park here downtown Los Angeles.
And we're now on the air in Fresno.
Every Saturday from 2 to 3, you can hear the Fix California Hour with John Phillips and Randy Wang on 580 KMJ in Fresno, 105.9 on the FM dial. You can stream it on KMJNow.com.
Gavin Newsom says MacArthur Park is a beautiful park. Now,
MacArthur Park is this beautiful park here downtown Los Angeles.
Now it's your opportunity to tell us what your experiences at MacArthur Park were like at 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-5222. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Gavin Newsom says MacArthur Park is just beautiful.
MacArthur Park is this beautiful park here downtown Los Angeles.
You're the people of California. You're familiar with that park. What have your experiences been like there at this beautiful park? 800-222-5222 is the phone number. Let's begin with John in San Luis Obispo. John, hello.
Hi, John. How's it going? Love your station. Love your show. Your shows are always pertinent, from the Malibu fires to now. My experience growing up in northern LA County, high desert, working all over the San Fernando Valley, working in LA, was nice back in the 60s and 70s. It's a shame to see MacArthur Park, Echo Park, those places go to looking like a third world crap hole. It's mind-boggling to me. I can remember when Van Nuys Boulevard, you could literally eat off the sidewalks in Panorama City. These people that have been in control, and you can't put it all at Gavin's feet, although he's an evil SOB, and Mrs. Bass is just a wingnut. I've watched San Fernando turning into a crap hole since the late 70s. I can remember the San Fernando Valley was a nice place to raise a kid. It's just such a shame.
I think part of the reason, thank you for the call, and maybe you disagree with this, but I think when Gavin says that park is beautiful, I would be willing to bet anything you're willing to lose that he has never taken his family there and would never take his family there because he understands it's dangerous. But what he's saying when he calls the park beautiful is he's saying it's good enough for brown people. It's good enough for the people who go there because they have no other choice. They seem to like it, so it's good enough for them. And that's an unbelievably paternalistic attitude to have, and a disrespectful one. Thank you for the call, Sarah. Let's go to Carol in L.A. Carol, hello.
Here we go. Hi.
Hi there.
Hi. I'd like to invite Governor Newsom for a picnic in MacArthur Park if you'd like to go. We'll see. I wanted to thank you for taking my call, and I want to tell you I love your show. I love it because people can call in, and it's really terrific, and it's always so interesting. But I have a business very close to MacArthur Park, so I deal with it on a daily basis, what's going on there. And I think we should thank President Trump and everybody for coming down there and try to help clean it up. I do want you to know that most of the Hispanic people that are in the area that are working are decent, nice-going people, and several of them that I know, ICE has detained for a few minutes and then realized that they have no criminal record, and they've let them go. I don't know if people understand that or not, but I have actually had that experience with people that I know that are illegally here, but they are working and they have no criminal history at all. So they're not just picking up everybody. So some of that is so untrue. The other thing is there's tons of drug addicts. I've seen stabbings. I've actually seen stabbings. I haven't physically seen shootings, but I've heard the shootings there. It's a very, very unsafe park, and it needs to be cleaned up. The San Salvadorian gang, they pitched their tents preventing people to come into my business. So I called the police and said, hey, wait a minute. If you're in a wheelchair, you cannot come down this sidewalk at all. You can't walk down the sidewalk. They've got tents there. And you know what the police told me? And this has happened to me twice, that they have orders from the city not to remove the tents off the sidewalk. And I told the police officer, I looked it up. It's illegal. It's illegal to block the sidewalk. But they have been told by the city not to do anything. So who's going to do something? If our mayor's not going to help us, the council people, forget it. They're not going to help you. And the whole city is just destroyed. We really need to clean it up, and it's such a simple thing. We can clean it up so easily.
And what's funny is if you have a bathroom at your business and it's not ADA compliant, they will come down on you like a ton of bricks. But they let the gangs and the homeless and the criminals block the sidewalks with tents so that people in wheelchairs or elderly people who have a tough time getting around or mothers with strollers can't use the sidewalk, and that's fine.
Well, they're taking away our rights. They're taking away our rights. And we're not doing these homeless people any good at all. You know, they walk all bent over, and I asked somebody the other day, I said, why do they bent over like crazy? It's because the fentanyl apparently puts your body to sleep. So the upper half of their body is basically asleep as they're walking around. And I've had one guy die, actually die on my property. And I'm not kidding you. Overdosed. And it was horrible. So we're not helping these people. Why are we doing this? I don't get it. All we have to do is make a rule. It's illegal to be homeless on the street. Either you go with your family or they come around and they say, okay, you need mental help. You're crazy. How many people have been stabbed and hurt by crazy people, or they throw rocks at your cars? The other day, a lady came up to my daughter's car, took a knife and was trying to stab her through the window at a stop sign. I mean, this is so bananas, the stuff that's going on, and devaluating your property. I'm paying health permits. I'm paying unsecured property taxes for my equipment inside my building. I am paying a carload of property tax and nothing. And for what? For what? And what they have this whole thing like they're taking these innocent people and all this. That's not true at all. They need to get rid of the San Salvadorian gang members. They need to get rid of these people that are doing these horrible crimes. And personally, they didn't even arrest anybody. All they did was walk through. They didn't do anything. It was a little bit of a scare tactic, but that needed to be done. And by 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, the park was full of all the weirdos again. And people also, what they do is they walk in the street. They're all screwed up. They don't pay any attention to the lights. If you hit them, how are you going to feel? Horrible. They just cross the street whenever they want to cross the street. They're so screwed up. And the crime is awful. And we've got too many nuts running around. The crazy people are taking over that whole area. It's not right.
And then they just gaslight us by telling us that the park is safe and beautiful. And because most people don't live
safe
here,
and beautiful. Yeah.
and they haven't been there and they're not familiar with it, I bet you the people in South Carolina are believing Gavin Newsom.
Oh, I've seen them. They go to the bathroom in front of little kids. There'll be little kids walking down the street, and some guy will just pull his pants down and go to the bathroom right there in front of them. They do it in my parking lot all the time. I mean, now I'm trying to figure out how to fence the entire parking lot and still allow people to come in. It is just a terrible, terrible, terrible problem, and it doesn't have to be. We need to get these politicians. They don't even have a clue as to what's going on. If he really wants to come on down. I invite him. Come on down to MacArthur Park. Have a picnic down there and see what you want to do. I mean, I don't understand these people. It's insane. And Langer's, that poor guy that, I guess they had to end up closing their restaurant because they couldn't deal with the homeless anymore. That's happening all over the place. It's very difficult to get into a building because they've got their tents parked in front of you, and then you don't know if somebody's going to come out with a knife or a screwdriver and stab you, or recently the machetes. A lot of them carry machetes. And most of these people are not Hispanic people. A lot of the nuts are all white, that their families don't want them anymore. And there are some blacks, but the Hispanic people really are not that horrible, like everybody seems to think. I mean, everybody's got to get a whole new outlook on what's really going on here. Most of those people are just hardworking people.
Well, thank you so much for the call, and I hope the governor takes you up on your offer and gets a tour of that park, because if he thinks the park is beautiful, he needs to talk to someone like you so he can understand reality. Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. Let's go to Mike in L.A. Mike, hello.
Hello. I was talking about MacArthur Park. A couple of years ago, I used to work at the produce market, and we had one worker that had bad credit. So we had one of these guys that you come buy watermelon, South Fruit over there. So he told him he could get him a Social Security card for $40. 2 days later, he comes with a brand new Social Security card, and a week later, he has a brand new credit card using it. He just paid $40 somebody in MacArthur Park.
You could buy pretty much anything there. If you need a fake Social Security card, you can get that there. You need a fake driver's license, you can get that there. I remember being in high school here where a lot of the kids who wanted to illegally buy booze would go down to MacArthur Park and get phony documents made up, and then they could go into any convenience store and buy booze.
Yeah, so he had credit. He was buying all kinds of stuff on somebody's Social Security number.
Well, thank you so much for the call, sir. Let's go to Patrick and Carson. Patrick, hello.
Hey, John. Good afternoon.
Hi there.
MacArthur Park is beautiful. Got the fountain. It's got grass. It's just the people there that are disgusting and scary. But the park, he's right. MacArthur Park is beautiful. But, 6th and Alvarado is now the spot for fake IDs. It used to be 7th and Alvarado. And KABC was the first one to break that news back in 1995. And it's been utilized by identity thieves ever since. You're telling people where they can go to get a fake ID after they steal the mail so they can go use the stolen credit cards, the stolen checks, the stolen whatever. It's a disservice to keep perpetuating that, even though it's still going on. But honest to goodness, you just gave 10 dope-fiend identity thieves an outlet.
Well, it's not a victimless crime. If you buy a fake ID, buy a fake Social Security number, you're stealing someone else's identity. So obviously you shouldn't be doing it. But pretending like it's not happening there is something that's not helpful either. What we need to do is we need to shut it down. We need to acknowledge reality, acknowledge that that's going on down there, and say we're not willing to put up with this. But just pretending like it's not happening and allowing it to continue, that's no way to live.
I agree, but it's been going on for 30 years, and when it comes across a news station or a radio station like this, somebody who's got bad intent to be an identity thief now has a way to go and get themselves a fake ID so they can use that credit card, so they can use those stolen checks, so they can apply for loans. All those things are part and parcel with identifying 6th and Alvarado as the new hub for fake IDs.
Well, thank you for the call, sir.
You know, you could make that argument about every crime blotter story that we do on this show, because while we're reporting on the crimes that happen, it's also a guide on how to commit certain crimes, like cutting a hole through the roof of a jewelry store.
Because if we didn't report on it, that wouldn't happen. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Gavin Newsom says MacArthur Park is beautiful. You are the people of... Go ahead, Gavin. Sorry.
MacArthur Park is this beautiful park here in downtown Los Angeles.
You are the people of California. You're familiar with that park. What have your experiences been like there? 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-5222. The Fix California Hour coming up after the news at 1. If you're on hold and we didn't get to your call this hour, stay there. We're going right back to the phones after the top of the hour news. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. Let's go to Lisa in West Hollywood. Lisa, hello.
Hi, John. I was driving through MacArthur Park about a week ago, stuck at a red light, which I call trapped if you're driving anywhere in that area. And a guy comes running up to my car window, smashes his hand against the window, and then presses something against the window. At this point, I'm looking like, okay, I'm going to take the light, the best thing to do. But I decide to look over, and then I'm staring at him, seeing it's a Social Security card. And then he says really loud, "80." In Spanish, which means 80. So he was trying to sell me a Social Security card for $80. So I said, no, bien, I'm okay, I got one. And I went through the red light.
Well, if you get a ticket for going through the red light, he could probably sell you a clean driver's license, too.
I hope so.
Thank you for the call. Let's go to Ben in Hollywood. Ben, hello.
Hello. I used to live and work in that area in the 70s and 80s. It was wonderful. It was very busy. There's a lot of pedestrian traffic. I think El Pollo Loco started their first store near there, and it was filled with insurance companies, businesses, and it's degraded. And as I hear the governor deny really what's destroyed the park, and no one wants to go there anymore, is this gaslighting. And when they're forced to acknowledge there is a problem, they act irritated. He acts like he's doing us a favor. It reminds me of that snidely snob from British Petroleum. And after they polluted the Gulf, he acted like he was put upon to take responsibility. And he never really did. He never apologized to America for ruining the Gulf of Mexico. And I doubt we'll ever get any acknowledgement from Mr. Newsom that this is a serious problem. I doubt he would ever visit there or take his family there. He's an elitist hypocrite. And I challenge him to put his money where his mouth is and camp there overnight. Maybe put his family in a tent and see what happens. See what happens, you fraud.
Thank you so much for the call, sir. I appreciate it. Let's go to Cardi, in Lancaster. Cardi, you have about 45 seconds. Go.
Okay, 1972. My parents used to take us. It was awesome, great, beautiful. It's a caca hole now. Why doesn't Newsom have his family hang out there for a week? He is a fake, a fraud, and a phony, JP. Fake, fraud, and a phony, just like our city council and our so-called mayor. They're baffling, bumbling buffoons. Thank you.
Well, if he's a phony, he's just like the documents that you can buy at MacArthur Park.